Hello.
Welcome in, everybody.
You got the controls, Jay?
What's that? Yeah. Give me a
Do you have
second.
the... Okay, sure. I am Charlotte Arania. It does not say my pronouns. They are she, her. But, no, that's the only relevant missing detail. Oh, Mr. Greggy doesn't have pronouns. Does have
No problem.
Does have a player cam, though.
All right, so get in here. Let's see. So if y'all are, let me pull up the race real quick. All right.
This is losers 16th. It is Manny, the 8th seed, versus Mr. Greggyspike, the 17th seed. So Manny's definitely the favorite, though would not count Greggy out for this one. Definitely a potential for the race to go either way, depending on who plays their best, who maybe doesn't play as well, potentially. We're far enough in bracket, there's not too many like super blowouts. So yeah, Manny looking a little bit ahead, but we're just going to let the sync adjust, and now they're pretty much synced. Both of them getting the 4 missiles to kill the first 2 Clada. Someone just followed Mr. Greggyspike, very cool.
I want that I this the there one.
Are you talking, Jay? I can't hear you.
No, I'm currently trying to figure out. Like, I'm making sure the sync is right.
Okay,
Looks like we're all good.
Okay, so yeah. First up, we got the climb. This is a very movement-based thing. A lot of people spend a lot of time practicing. They're actually going to go on different paths. Mr. Greggy taking the leftward path on the climb, and Manny taking the rightward path. Manny did not do any pseudos over the blob before going in. Greg took 1.
Both of them opting for the missile tank.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Just because, like, you know, with 30 missiles, if you don't get headlock, it can be a little stressful. But with 32, you got a little bit more of a cushion.
Yeah, that's what Manny was saying. That's why he does it, because you have a little bit of a cushion there.
Yeah. If only you were glitchless and you can get, like, 38 going in. It's, like, idiot-proof. But yeah, it's looking like Manny is a little bit ahead here at the start, but not too big of a gap. Yeah, I'm watching the Discord restream.
Okie doke. Alright, both our runners coming up on early cloak.
Yeah, Manny got 1 shot pretty quickly, though the second shot not coming. Oh, and they both get the second shot pretty much at exactly the same time. That's very cool. We got a tied game.
I think Greggy was 3.
Yeah, it was a really good pseudo for Greggy. So I don't think that either player is going to be fishing for headless or headlock per se, although Greggy almost got it. I'm not sure if that was early enough.
Greggy did get it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, wait, nope.
Wait.
Fake headlock.
So, fake headlock, why was Corpius stuck to the ground for 10 seconds? I wish that would happen to me.
You know, just head not locked, but like it has a sign that says keep out.
Like
yeah, so neither one getting the 2 cycle. Yeah, Manny getting the first one. Then next up, we got the... Oh god, I'm trying to remember the paths. Yeah, we're just gonna go get charged now. After talking to Adam. So it's another bit of just kind of like pure movement on the way to water platform skip and potentially water ass. Water ass coming first, and I believe Manny has been doing water ass recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely mainline on that trick, which was a little uncharacteristic. Usually Manny tends to shy away from those more difficult tricks, but it's definitely been one that he's embraced. We'll see if that works out for him. Skipping the ledge into the jump over that little gap where the Emmy usually is. And a coyote jump from Greggy. Okay, that was interesting how Manny kind of like threaded the needle through the fish and the obsidian or whatever it's called. Ooh, second try water ass. Yeah. So I don't know if Greggy goes for water ass. I'm not really as familiar. Does look like he's going for it.
There he is. Very good.
Very good indeed. Got a pretty decent start from both players. I did not see how Manny fared on the water platform skip, but it looks like Greggy is missing the first attempt, second attempt as well. Third attempt's the charm. If he just keeps getting everything third attempt, that could be pretty alright, because I know there are some tricks that have a very wide variance. Third try Atom skip, you'd be pogging over that.
Looking like about a 10-second delta there.
Yeah, more or less. Also, Greggy's timer appears to have been reset somehow for some reason. But that's okay. We know that they're in sync. Yeah, and he's just going through the second climb. Okay, they both are opting for the E-Tank. I know that they are... Manny is a 3-tank guy. I don't know if Greggy will be skipping the Dairon tank or not. Either way, I think the advantage of getting the Artaria tank beyond just like having 2 tanks by the end is like still pretty good. Just because having a tank for Cataris, you don't really worry about anything. You feel invincible in Cataris.
Definitely.
Alright, so Manny's going to be taking the path to Spider Magnet Emmy now, which is interrupted with a mandatory trick on this route first. Naga skip, that's another one that can be a big difference maker as far as this early game differential goes. Pretty much the last one until elevator deboost, because you don't really save that much time doing True Plant on the white Emmy.
Alright, let's see that Magus from Manny.
Let's see. Alright, I like the weave.
Ah, he's getting dust.
Alright, well, if Greggy can continue the third try streak that he's been on, then you could save a lot of time there. Manny also grabbing the ledge on the way down. Ooh, I like the double melee
Simply
there.
having a wonderful Samus time. Just grabbing ledges, slow mantling.
Okay, that wasn't third try, but that was still a bit of a better...
That was still very good.
Yeah. Alright, Manny taking the fight a little bit safe, meleeing the extra Rinkas. Has plenty of missiles for after the fight when we need to do elevator deboost, which takes like 3 to 5 missiles depending on your setup. I think you can even do it in 2, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So Manny is, he platformed pretty well. I don't think he's going to actually attempt True Plant, just because, again, the risk is relatively high, given the just like couple seconds of reward.
Yeah, he stumbled a bit on the ledge, meaning that it would be necessary for him to jump over.
Okay. He probably knew that then. Made the adjustment. Yeah, we're watching the same cutscene from both players.
Our runners are about 15 seconds apart at this point.
It seems like Greggy has noticed that his splits are not quite right. Because I just saw him attempt
He might be having some timer issues.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to us, we'll keep track of where the delta's at. But I know you might want to keep track of it yourself.
For now, we got Manny on the way to Elevator D-Boost. I know that he had a practice run yesterday where he had a fair bit of trouble on it. And he doesn't like to play the game on the day of a race because it... he says it, like, doesn't help his focus, basically. Like, he gets stressed out thinking about the game too much.
Yeah.
Just kind of wants to relax for it, so... Yeah, for sure. We'll see how that goes. Looks like he does a 4-missile variation, and it works out just fine.
That's spicy. Alright.
Yeah. I'm always, like, not quite familiar with people's exact setups, so whenever they do one that I'm not familiar with, I'm like, oh, was the jump supposed to be that wide? Or, you know, whatever it is. That was a funky little setup there. I cannot believe that worked. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I always like seeing people's different setups for tricks like that, because it's like, it really makes you, like, feel like you're watching a human play the game.
Absolutely.
The soul behind the player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty much just a full load screen apart at this point. Manny coming out of the elevator right as Greggy's screen went black.
Yep. Greggy coming in with a 1054 Caterus room transition. Caterus elevator room transition.
So yeah. Caterus, kind of the area of 1,000 tricks. They're all kind of small and not like if you wanted to just do the most vanilla playthrough you could, it's like not too hard to get through. But with the routes that we like to take and the optimizations that both these players are going to be going for, it's a lot of, you know, Atom skip, or, you know, it's like super boost into Hell Run, into potentially Hell Pseudo, into Atom skip. Also the spin fall after hitting the second lava switch, I believe, can be a little bit tricky as far as avoiding the green enemy. So it's a lot to really you know, keep a mind's eye on in this area of the game.
Coming up on Super Boost, nailing it first try.
Like that setup.
Very nice.
And I also like that he does the jump off of the magnet wall and shoots the ply on the way down. I see some people shoot before they jump off the wall, which is a little bit slower, so that is nice to see.
Man, getting a little hung up in the first Hell Run room. Makes it through okay, though. That extra tank
That's
really
why you
helps.
take the E-tank. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chaff said he only got that, like, 1 out of 4 times tankless.
Yes, it's definitely difficult without a tank. We're seeing
Greggy
go in with 184 health. And not taking the ply, so that actually makes this a little bit tighter. However, again, the E-tank makes it...
a little nervous,
convenient.
maybe a little nervous.
I was nervous too, yeah. It's like, oh god, 24 health.
Pretty decent RNG. Can't imagine we'll be seeing Manny go for Hell Pseudo.
Yeah, definitely one of those tricks that Manny is a little tentative to pick up.
Potentially, Greggy has a chance to catch up a little bit, depending on whether or not he does Hell Pseudo.
I like that Manny just holds the charge shot sliding under the wall and then just lets it go as he approaches the button. Just leave no room for error. Basically.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of Hell Pseudo. we're not seeing Hellspeeder from either player today, it seems. Which, for those that don't know, is essentially you go into the heated room underneath the room with the button, and then you do a pseudo wave to shoot through the wall and hit the back side of the button, which causes it to activate. Saves like 6 seconds.
Manny coming up on Adam Skip. Let's see how that goes.
It looks like a good first attempt.
Very nice.
First try. Ooh. Yeah, that's huge. Like getting Adam Skip at like 14-20. That's like definitely finishing before or like around like early 16 minutes on Cataris.
Yep.
So it's definitely a good pace.
Speaking of 1420, Greggy with 1420 third thermal switch going into Adam Skip, and let's see how he does.
Okay, yeah, that attempt was pretty good. I think that the third wall jump was a little bit mistimed. Fourth wall jump looks iffy there. Alright, there we go.
Very nice. There's 3. You still want 3.
Third try, Greggy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just get everything third try. Yeah, they just high-fived. One going in, one coming out. And this is a section, I feel like a lot of people have been getting caught by the green Emmy here. But Manny makes it work. There we go. I know that he was sarcastically taunting Ed Nolium not too long ago about how the dash melee over the Emmy is supposedly free, but actually is quite hard. But he managed to get it. Just perfectly fine. First try, no hesitation.
Maybe it is free.
Maybe it is
Maybe
free.
all tricks are free.
The secret that they don't want you to know is that if you practice any trick for a long time, you'll get better at it.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Few know this, however. It is true.
They don't want you to know it.
Okay, I like to see both players also getting the magnet skip there at the zip skip. What do we call it?
I call it
Whatever,
Superman.
Getting the Superman. I like that. And he taking the tiny D boost as Greg is having a little bit of trouble getting into this tiny hole in order to lower the magnet platform to get out of Cataris.
Manny with a 1623 Cataris elevator, or Dyron tram, sorry.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid time for sure, especially considering some of the issues he had in Artaria. That was a very solid Cataris, all things considered.
Yeah, he will be buoyed by the first try Adam Skip for sure, at least in the early game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like that's got to be a good confidence booster in a race. Just first try Adam Skip. Feel on top of the world.
That's when you know a run's really getting started.
Yeah.
First try Adam Skip.
So yeah, they're just on their way to wide beam now. Dyron kind of more movement heavy, not really as many tricks as Cataris, and it's kind of an in and out affair. It's not really too long.
And Greggy touching the Dyron tram plate at 1714. So about 50 seconds delta at this point.
Yeah, so that sounds like a pretty comfortable lead for Manny, though. You know, it is all bosses. A lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can happen. Accidents happen all the time, Manny.
Why would you single out just Manny?
I don't know Greggy well enough to make those jokes.
All right. Take a look at Greggy's movement through here. Looking good. He'll get that spin fall very nicely. Come into the Sonic's room. Very nice.
And a cheeky
One jump.
dash melee.
Greggy's movement has been pretty good through Dyron so far. Let's see how he handles
The dark
Room.
room's the big one. Solid. Avoid that.
Very nice. Very solid.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but we can see the color of Manny's splits I know that he always compares against his personal best, even in races. So he was only red for like half a second on the wave beam split, which means that he's more or less on PB pace so far. So a very solid start for Manijure.
And while Manny was having a little trouble with that first wide beam monolith, second and third one go great. Greggy picking up wide beam. Let's see how Greggy handles this section. He has a potential to get maybe 1 or 2 seconds on Manny with the execution of this upcoming room.
Interesting.
Very
way
nice.
of getting through that. Perfect. Not going for the D boost, just keeping it simple.
Good enough for government work.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, we got 2 more wide beam blocks. Let's see how they work out for him. It seems like he forgot to charge me coming into this room, so that's a little bit of a time loss, but not really any worse than what Manny had. Yeah. So similar performance on
Manny's
blocks.
Manny stepping off the tram at 1953.
1953. I remember it was like it was yesterday.
Do you? Maybe?
No.
I don't know. All right, Manny coming in here. Manny does not do Charlie's, so we will see missile fire when it comes to breaking armor and all those other nice things.
You know, Charlie's, they definitely save time, but when you have 36 missiles, it's like, you know, why not use them, I guess. Probably Manny's mindset.
Greggy stepping off the tram at 2043.
Yeah.
So
Manny
lead hasn't grown.
That's true. That's true. Keeping it even. Solid vanilla kill setup from Manny, and Greg is going to be making his way into the CU room. We'll see if Greggy does Charlie's. Okay, both mainlining the missile strat.
When we say Charlie's, we mean charge missiles. It's a method of firing both a missile and a charge shot at the same time. Vastly increases DPS for certain bosses like Kraid and central unit armor and experiment Z57.
Yeah, it's good on pretty much any fight where normal beam doesn't match them, or if you don't have wide beam, then normal beam is also not really worth it. Very good technique. We will probably be seeing it more in those later fights, as they are a little bit more necessary. For
Greggy taking out that green Emmy like a champ.
Good job, both players.
While Manny opting for the Missile 10 over by the red TP.
Now, how do you feel about the Missile 10 in rookie mode? Because I always feel like it's a little excessive.
I take it for Gav Robo.
That's fair, yeah. After
because
makes sense.
I've gotten burned by Dragaiga taking up way too many resources.
Mm-hmm.
And you only have, like, what is it? I guess it would be 36, I think 38 missiles at that point.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah. It's a little touch and go. If you have only 38 missiles or 36.
Yeah, I was watching somebody else do a run earlier today, and they got really bad drop luck from Dragaiga, where they went for the counter at the end of the fight, but they pretty much only got the one resource they didn't need. So, like, they needed missiles, but they got health. So, you know, there's also just, like, nonsense like that can happen.
Yeah. And if it can happen, it will. Probably at some point to somebody, so.
To somebody, yeah. You don't want it to be here and now.
To you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see this Varia climb from Manny.
Good slide into the hole. Didn't quite get the full momentum, but still didn't have to go for the crawl animation, so overall decent. Gonna take 1 tick of damage, but that's okay, we're on rookie. Overall, pretty solid climb. Only missed like 1 or 2 little minor optimizations.
Yeah, that was very good. Greggy's gonna be coming up here doing the same thing. Greggy about a
Get out of that hole.
23-39, stepping off of that red TP.
And that player going for the morph shot into the Varia climb room. Looks like Manny had a failed attempt, whereas Greggy looks like he just went for the quick rise into the hole. Sure, about even.
Greggy just busting his way through. Consequences be damned.
Yeah, I like that he did the unmorph right as he came out of the tunnel so that he started running frame 1 on the unmorph. Towards the end of the Varia climb. Always cool to see.
And Greggy will pick up his very own Varia suit. While Manny will be heading to Kraid.
So yeah, Kraid, big green time waster. You all know him. You all hate him. You could potentially lose like tens of seconds. That was smooth. But,
getting that with a height of 2 is pretty difficult. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's Kraid is kind of an RNG boss. Phase 1, you can pretty much just do Charlie's and you're fine. You should always make it through just fine. But for Phase 2, because we don't have bombs or grapple beams, it's kind of like up to the luck of the draw of like how many missile refills he gives you and how long he keeps himself vulnerable. So you could potentially save quite a bit of time to Kraid just deciding to be a jerk.
Manny with about a minute on Greggy going into Kraid.
Going for, again, raw missiles on Phase 1. This is generally not the preferred method because it can potentially leave you a little bit short on missiles for Phase 2. However, Manny is forgoing the single wall jump in order to go for the beam spam on the Chrissy, which is nice because the whole time that you're shooting the Chrissy, he is also setting out little pellets that when you break them, they will give you pretty much exclusively missile drops as long as you have full health. And he didn't take any damage in Phase 1, I don't think. So that was still pretty decent ammo management. Yeah, pretty solid Phase 2. Now let's see Greggy's. Okay, also going for the missiles on Phase 1. For this first phase, Kraid actually takes half damage, basically until he starts either spitting up these projectiles or shooting his claws at you. So the missile spam, it is, like, as far as like ammo management, pretty inefficient, though again, this is rookie mode. You have 48 missiles in this particular case, and actually we're going to see the staircase being given to Greggy. So that is not quite as good as doing the single wall jump up to the magnet, but it is still better than needing to do the full amount of damage to the Chrissy.
Are we calling it that?
What do you call it?
I don't know. I don't really have a name for it. Anything's got to be better than Chrissy.
Okay. The belly wound on Kraid. Yeah, so both having pretty
It's kind of snappy.
The belly wound?
No, the... I can't even bring myself to say it.
Alright. I'll be the one who bears the weight of Chrissy.
Thank you.
What was he saying? Oh yeah, they both have pretty good Kraid fights. They both have Diffusion Beam on their way to early Cloak. Manny going into Artaria as Greggy is leaving Cataris. So they're one Dairon section behind. Or one Dairon section ahead, depending on whose perspective you think of it from, I suppose.
Specific Delta holding at about 1 minute still.
It's good that he's not losing time. Is like, while it's difficult to like save time per se, there is a lot that can go wrong in a race. You know, there's the reason why anytime somebody races, they talk about, you know, the cursed race luck, etc., so on. You just have a higher tendency to mess up tricks when you're doing a race. So definitely could just make sure that he continues this pace of keeping things pretty solid, getting them not getting tripped up by anything too much, and just kind of wait for Manny to, slip up a little bit. You know, accidents happen all the time to Manny.
Greggy's been having live split issues. Acebreaker.
Unfortunate. But that is okay, because we know that Manny is going in to the Diron elevator 2938 on the A press. From there, we will see the difference.
Yeah, speaking about Manny in particular, and speaking from experience, it's very easy to lose time to Manny.
It's true. He does kind of mainline safe strats.
Kind of
Consistency
sneaks
is
up
pretty-
on you.
Yeah. Like, if you're just solid in all the safe strats, like that's a pretty good consistency.
Absolutely.
So like right there, we saw Manny, instead of doing like an unmorph coyote spin jump out of the tunnel, he grabbed the tunnel ledge and then jumped off of that, which also gets you to the ledge, and it's like a half-second slower, but it's pretty much never going to fail. I've done it hundreds of times that way, and I think I failed it once. Versus the coyote jump, you maybe fail that like 10% of the time, 5% of the time. The variance adds up.
Manny missing the coyote out of the Diron Emmy zone.
Manny doing the darkroom pseudo. Okay, 2 attempts, and then he's abandoning it. That's fair. I know that Manny has historically been someone who says he'll get around to learning the darkroom pseudo, so it was worth going for. He probably was using the same angle that he uses for right side Varenia pseudo, which does work, but you know, sometimes in a different context, just like the feeling is different, and you don't quite know how to like just like tell from like visual cues and whatnot how you need to adjust because it's in a new context. So I totally understand abandoning it and going back for the safe route, only losing about 5 seconds there.
Let's see the Greggy getting a favorable yellow Emmy spawn.
Yeah, his movement was clean enough up that I think he would have been able to get past it anyway. Though there was a little bit of a flub there towards the end of getting out of the Emmy zone, so the favorable Emmy spawn definitely working out, doing work. And Greggy gonna get a free time save simply by not going for the darkroom pseudo at all, and just doing the normal platforming. Save a good 5 seconds there. Which is interesting. We were just talking about how Manny is sort of goes for the safe strats, but you know, his foray into the slightly more dangerous strats costing him a little bit of time there.
We all have one that we're hopelessly infatuated with.
Yeah. Some of us do Charlie's on the magnet against Prade. Metaphorically speaking, I mean, nobody actually does that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. I'm kidding. That was a strat pioneered by Noyazaki.
The boss rush legend Miyazaki. Yeah, did you see if Manny got the hole-in-one in the golf simulator?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume he missed it. I asked Manny if he wanted me to not be rude on commentary, and he said, no, please be rude. So, just so everybody's clear, this is fine.
Greggy almost getting it.
Yeah, that was a really close attempt. Just like a little bit too late on the analog stick left input. A couple frames. A very tight trick, surprisingly.
What's really nice is what I've seen people do, and what I would consider to be a safe strat is stopping at the edge of the cliff there, or the overhang, and then just angling your grapple beam down 45-degree angle, and then immediately jumping off the magnet wall when you get there, and morphing, and that provides the lateral momentum that you need. Manny,
cool.
Manny opting not to do backdoor flash. I don't believe Manny was a backdoor flash kind of person. It's not that slow. It's not that much slower to do it the semi-intended way with the early grapple beam. So
Yeah, it's only really like a mandatory trick if you don't get early grapple, because then it's like 30 seconds or more that you're giving up, but it's only like 6 with grapple. So flash shift, we've kind of entered the second phase of the game as far as movement goes. Flash chains are going to be the big thing. You know, sliding off of ledges is out, flash shifting everywhere, and getting those flash chains are in. Ooh, I like that little morph boost off the ledge to get to the pseudo spot. That was really clean. Okay, we're seeing some Dark Room pseudos done in Berenia from Manny. Missed 3 shots so far, so there we go.
Greggy also not opting for backdoor flash. Kind of a tough trick.
Alrighty, both players have flash shift on deck. So now we're going to get the slower flash shift, speed booster. Ooh, I like that that flash shift through the enemy there. I usually see people just try to shoot that enemy, but I can see how, you know, if you're not like wanting to mash or like do a Charlie or whatever, you got the health for it. It's a pretty good movement. And essentially, anytime you slide into an enemy, when you get bonked, you're like instantly actionable, so you can just flash shift right through them.
Greggy opting to do the left side pseudo, but not the right side. I suppose he figures that, you know, just you gotta wait for the climb anyway, so.
Yeah, honestly, that's not too bad. And like the left side pseudo is definitely the one that's like, if you know the visual cue for it, it's pretty easy to just like do on command without any like sort of you don't really need to like worry about like, okay, did I do that too high, too low? You just kind of like know to put the cannon over her foot. So I think that was
you say that,
cool.
but
Also,
I still mess it up.
Oh, I mean, it's really hard. Sorry. But yeah, no, definitely going for the first pseudo rather than the second is the smart way to go. If you're going to go with one. So Manny is killing the yellow Emmy. I think he's just going to go for the earliest possible kill. Not going to try and down warp the Emmy, which is slower, unfortunately, even though it's cool.
Manny downing the yellow Emmy at 37-37.
Greggy barely missing that ledge. That is alright. It's pretty hard to get caught by the yellow Emmy in this part of the game. It's all the way trapped in the other room, and you lock the flash door behind it. Yeah, we're seeing more missiles from both runners here. I'm seeing that Greggy is a manual masher from the player cam. Looks like he puts a lot of soul into that mash.
You gotta give it a lot of oomph.
Yeah.
Manny taking the third tank.
Yeah, so the third tank, like we were saying, it pretty much guarantees that you can have enough health to do like one phase on Dragaiga, and you can beat the Golden Chozo Robo without too much worry about health, and a few other things. It just kind of makes it a little bit safer when you're fighting every single boss. It's nice to have that little bit of safety.
3841 Emmy down from Greggy. Our delta is still a minute.
Yeah.
Greggy not losing any time at all, really.
Yeah, it's actually kind of surprising, like how consistent the pace has been between the two. Like Greggy lost that minute, and then it's basically been like even in terms of performance since then. So definitely still a race that could be turned around, even about halfway through.
See if Manny gets this. He did not get the for anyone speed keep.
Yeah, good adjustment to not go for it and fail, because if you fall into the water, it's a little bit slower, because you don't get the momentum on the grapple swing. Okay, and then going for the D-boost in order to do the fastest robo kill.
Ooh, Manny having
but,
a little bit of trouble. There we go.
yeah, not too bad.
Sealing the deal, though. At 40.07.
Alright, I don't actually know how Manny goes through this room. I feel like I forgot. Okay, good. He does the morph. Love that technique. Just looks so smooth. Just like morphing into the hole, instantly using the speed to break the blocks under you. Now you're already fast falling. I like when tricks are like, oh, there's like 4 or 5, or like 2 or 3 base mechanics that all just kind of like coalesce into like working perfectly.
Very
Ooh, and the
nice.
speed keep from Greggy. That's beautiful.
Using the ball strat, that's one of my favorites. Oh, and there we go. There's one.
Ooh, okay, that
nice.
was a really tight store, but that worked out.
That was a tight
Ice in
store.
his blood.
Greggy's gonna gain a little time off that.
Yeah, that was definitely a really smooth fight. Seeing the up spark from Greggy, which is another very solid way of navigating that room. Just kind of bypass the whole wind and wall jump gimmick.
Manny getting that neat little damage boost off the spike robot there. A missing hole in one.
Now, Manny is kind of like the #1 guy for hole-in-ones. You gotta imagine that's a little bit of a morale hit. When I
Not a
go
golfer,
to sleep,
unfortunately. Which means he missed
Yeah,
the
no,
first
not
one,
today.
too.
Yeah, when I have sleep paralysis, demons taunt me about missing hole-in-one. It's always in Manny's voice.
Let's see. Oh! Unfortunate leap of faith attempt from Greggy, but it should be able to still clean it up here. All right. Very nice damage store from Manny.
It seems like a
let's
pretty textbook Dragaiga fight so far. going for the melee just to make sure he has all the resources he needs in order to
Very
fight
nice.
the next boss, which comes pretty much right after. Okay, let's say 43-57 switch touch by Manny. Okay, Greggy going for a slightly safer version of the speed keep where you don't do the damage store and then you kind of just do movement that makes it so that it's pretty much impossible to accidentally spark halfway up. It's another just good example of keeping it simple. Now, does Greggy do one cycle? It looks like he does. And with 3 E-tanks, again, it's a pretty good window of health and ammo that you're going to have.
Manny not getting the store, going back to reset.
Ooh, that's going to be a time loss for sure. Okay, Greggy doing an ascent strategy I've never seen before, but that seemed pretty decent. Didn't do a grapple cancel, but instead kind of hugged the very right wall and then took to the lowest possible point on the left wall and then just did wall jumps up to flash shift.
Manny just flying through this movement section.
Definitely. I forgot to check the time that Greggy was on at the switch. But he got the one cycle. Now let's see if he can get the first try spark store for the Chozoroba fight. He does. So that is going to be a nice little time save. Making sure to bonk into the robot instead of taking the direct attacks as much as possible.
By the book.
Definitely. That was very good. That was like what they teach you at the academy.
Yeah. You know, there are only 2 books that exist. One of them is what you learn at Harvard Business School, and the other one is what you don't learn at Harvard Business School.
Yeah,
Like
and that's what you
thing
don't learn
applies
at
to
Harvard
Metroid Dread.
Business School.
Both runners about 57 seconds apart at this point.
Okay, so the lead actually shrank a little bit. That's pretty good.
A little bit, yeah.
Solid pace as we go into the plasma beam split. So this is a quick trip through Elune, but there is a lot of movement involved, kind of similar to Ataria 1 and Dairon 1, where it's just sort of like, can you just make this basic movement really clean while hitting the very few tricks that are essentially just still movement checks in terms of the speed keep through the second half of the area. Okay, that was a pretty smooth little flash shift there for Manny, doing the quick rise right out of the max range flash shift. I always like to see that. And it's going to be flashing through these enemies. That was a really good management of that blob enemy there, when it's right there in the where the Morphle tunnel is. If you don't move quite right, you'll sometimes bounce off and it'll waste a solid second. But if you have a little bit of momentum going left as you hit the floor, then you'll slip right into that hole. And that is what Manny did. It's very good.
Manny going for a Elune speed keep. Goal is to get it all the way to the eye door. It's better than not doing it at all, for sure.
Yeah, the movement through that first section is still worth.
Yeah, I used to call that a halfie, because when I was learning that, I could only get half of it. And it still was faster than not doing it at all.
favorable blob spawn from Greggy there. Didn't even have to worry about that. Alright, so Manny finishing off the first of the several Chozo warriors that we're going to be fighting as he forgets to start charging Speed Booster too early, so he's not able to do the biggest time save of the year, unfortunately. Ooh, okay, we're doing like the 3/4 E from mrgreggyspike.
And Greggy doing manual missile weaving.
And very strong. Definitely, if you can do it, it's the optimal way to do it. It's the single strict advantage that non-turbo has. Just being able to weave, and he looks like he's pretty good at it. I wonder if he does a remap, or if that's just pressing R. I know a lot of people really like to do the stick click as R, so they can just kind of like aim and weave with the same thumb.
Manny having a very nice pre-ice semi section.
Ooh, I love
Moving
that
through
he...
there like lightning.
Yeah, I love that like little tiny delay on the wall he did, because if he did that at the maximum speed, he would have potentially clipped the foot of the ice semi with the position that it was in and the way that it had moved. So that tiny little delay on the second to last wall jump was just what he needed in order to not do that and get through that section as fast as possible. So that was really, really good, like micro adjustment.
Yeah. And you definitely don't want to clip the anything on the ice semi. Awful.
Oh yeah, no, definitely
One
not.
of the worst ones.
Alright, so Manny hit the speed keep pretty good. Let's see Greggy's. This Manny is just going to be finishing up the ice semi here. Okay, missing the first part of the speed keep, but that's okay, because the big part is the one that like goes through this atom room, basically. You want to be able to keep your speed through this enemy section.
He'll get away with it because of a favorable spawn.
Yeah, and the wall kick into the grapple was genuinely a really good backup strat there, as far as the movement goes. Get off there pretty quickly.
Greggy losing about
just, like,
5 seconds on movement alone.
Unfortunate, but is what it is.
It ain't over till it's over.
Definitely not. Because I don't know if Greggy can gold skip, but I know that Manny still does the 9+1. So like, even in the very last fight, there is still a pretty big potential time save. And we still have a bit of a way till there, about a half hour left of this run. Manny mentally preparing himself for the ledge warp. This is a frame perfect trick with a very solid visual indicator of if you jump towards the ledge and then morph and you land atop the ledge, you have stored morph properly. And so now he's going to be using, he's going to be staying in morph all the way to spin boost room. He's going to collect spin boost and then he's going to morph out. And in the time that it takes him to collect spin boost, that will cause the Gavaran Chozo warrior to spawn. Which is one of our titular all bosses. Alright, so that was like third try or fourth try for the lead warp setup. Pretty good overall. Love that spark on the warrior. Oh, hey, same room.
Greggy going for the Noia keep up here. And he's just going to power through.
So that is a bit of a hefty time save for Manny in that scenario, because the ledge warp does save a good amount of backtracking. It was third try, so it wasn't quite as much as it could have been. but that is still a solid like 15-20 second swing. However, Manny's gonna go for the ice missile speed keep to get into early grab. What a digital dummy. Doesn't he know about the water spin boost?
The one that apparently no one but me can do. I swear, I'm gonna give a class to y'all.
Yeah, you're the only one that can do bombless consistent. I don't get it. But I'd take that class. It would save me a solid second in min items.
Greggy losing about 10, 15 seconds off of that. Off of just not doing ledge warp.
Yeah, he did do the Noya keep at least, so that is you know, as far as doing the non-ledge warp strat, pretty decent. Pretty good movement. Now let's see the early grab speed keep from Manny though. Yeah, he broke the blocks. He's gonna be fine. I've never seen Manny fail these. Okay, I tried.
Are we trying to intentionally commentate or just curse?
That was the idea there, yeah.
The
I can
jajum.
summon it on command against Hobbit, but not Manny, I guess.
Looking good.
So Manny's early gravity speed keep went pretty much by the books. He even did the flash skip. However, imagine... Oh, okay, never mind. Thought he was gonna try and will him to miss that speed keep. The shine spark up the tower. So we got Greggy about to undertake the hardest casual intended speed keep, I dare say. Ooh, accidentally sparking up instead of down. That's going to be a bit awkward.
Having to go with this 3 times is going to cost him.
Yeah. It's always rough when you don't break the blocks under you. Kind of simplifies the whole process. Looks like they're going to skip the missile plus tanks, both confident in the fact that they have plenty of missiles for the endgame at this point. Outside of that one.
Well, I wouldn't call 48 plenty, but I think they both intend to go pick up the one that they need screw attack for.
Yeah. We've taken quick work out of the red Chozo. Got the spark and then just mashed the rest of the way there. Okay, so from the colors of his splits, it looks like Manny is still on a potential PB pace because that was only a few seconds of red.
Ooh, very nice. I think Manny's gonna make quick work of Frozen Arteria.
I love to not see the ball spark into that guy. I'm always saying, I just don't like ball sparks. They just feel slow even when they're not. Sometimes they're slow. For real. Tickle in the guy just so that he can get it into attack phase early enough that he can damage boost through it in order to get this speed keep. Manny, an avid runner of 0%, in which that is a mandatory shine spark, so definitely very practiced there.
Oh, and Greggy losing the Getting the blob, but losing speed keep. Doesn't miss a beat. Picks it right back up.
Yeah, that was a
There we
really
go.
clean.
That's what we love to see.
Yeah. I love it when I see good backups.
I might work that into my own run.
Yeah, clean weaving fight. I like that little turnaround just to get more damage so that he could like have the iframes.
Manny losing his mantle medal for a little bit. It's fine though.
Alright, we're going to be seeing Mr. Greggy go for the same speed keep that Manny hit perfectly. It looks like he is going to get it as well. That's a slow spark to stay in the goop for a little longer, which looks kind of funny, but it doesn't actually matter. Because again, you have 3 tanks, you're going to be fine. I thought Manny missed that claw for a second. I was not prepared for that to work, but that was an interesting way of getting through that room from Mr. Greggy. He did the
Pretty
spin
solid
boost over the big wall.
Pretty solid frozen artillery from both runners.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something you can be proud of.
A clean Z57 fight from Manny.
Just barely saving the spark. There we go. Only lose a little bit of time here. And there Manny is at blue.
So it looks like they forgot.
Well, Greggy will be heading into Z57. Let's see how this goes, and Greggy can make up some time on what was honestly a pretty decent Z57 from Manny. Getting favorable RNG out the gate. Very nice. He needs to watch his health here, though. Yep. Very nice. Gotta be careful, those E-tanks can blink out in the blink of an eye. Oh. There we go. Got it. Looks like Manny's right on the nose as a PB pace. Greggy's getting the speed booster. The cinematic spark, you gotta love it.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, clean frozen Catarus sections from both players as well. Ooh, are they both going to get the big keep? I love it.
So nice.
Ooh, even
coming out of
Greggy actually went a
Z57.
slight faster. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. After Z57, the Delta coming out to be 1.5 minutes. Both our runners doing very nicely. Manny looks to be on a legit PB pace here.
Love to see it. Love to see that spark too. There's a surprisingly tight spark, very accident prone. Can be really tricky.
See how these robos go.
Ooh, okay, that was really favorable until he got knocked away. But actually, they're lining themselves up again regardless, ending up in a pretty solid positioning for Manny, as he only has like a second or two where he's not firing plasma beams at both robos. So that was actually really, really good. Even with the hit.
Greggy picking up screw attack at 1 hour, 3 minutes, 46 seconds.
I will be interested to see Greggy's twin robo fight. Manny's was pretty solid. It does seem like Greggy has the faster mash speed, so there is a potential time save there, and he also has the weaving unlock. Very solid weaving throughout this run, and that doesn't save too much time for the twin robos because you want to be using pure beams to hit both at the same time. But when you are when you finish off that first one and then you're just down to the one, then you also save.
Oh, and Manny losing crazy eights.
I think he does have the backup.
Very nice.
Ooh, that's
Ooh,
that was so clean.
Wonderful to see.
Ice in
Greggy
his
losing
veins.
the bomb jump there. Manny clocking in with a cross bomb at 105.10.
Yeah, it looks like Greggy converting to the slightly easier single bomb, infinite bomb jump there after having a bit of trouble with the double bomb method. You know, like I'm always saying, whatever gets the job done.
Greggy getting knocked off the pedestal. You don't want to see that. Now we're all discombobulated.
Yeah, now, like I said, he does have the weaving unlock, so this second phase could potentially go a little faster than it did with Manny's. Switching over to the screw attacks, a few of those as well, also doing very good damage to the robos.
Manny says, ice, my veins. You don't want to get too cold there.
You know, we're done with
my
Frozen
condolences, Greggy.
Keeping it to a maximum.
Now, 4-spark Golzuna from Greggy will lock up a few seconds based on the Manny missing crazy eights. But
yeah,
there is not that much time to save there.
Alright, so let us see this Golzuna. Okay, not getting the Spark Slide in. Okay, and has a slightly different method for the 4-spark, it seems. Doing a Shine Spark charge up to kill Goliath, and then doing a Ball Spark backwards into Golzuna. I've never seen that way of doing Ball Spark. I myself am a Ball Spark
Very
enjoyer
nice.
for Golzuna, though, so I really appreciate that. It was a cool setup. Yeah, that was a really cool, really good Golzuna fight.
Post Golzuna, we're sitting at about 2 minutes.
I do wonder what Greggy is cooking with the Shine Spark there. Was he going to Shine Spark through the crossbomb tunnel? That's interesting. Man, getting the fire D boost.
Manny's movement has been pretty solid through this whole section.
Yeah, I know he's been working on the room by room, and attended Ed's workshop and has been thinking a lot more about these sort of micro adjustments and micro optimizations more recently. So you can definitely see that in the evolution of his PB and just like watching him play.
All great time investments, of course. Let's see, 1 and 2. That's the 2 cycle. That'll be good. And there we go. Get cross bombs at 108.42. Sorry,
Very solid.
storm missiles.
Oh, yeah. Storm missiles. But yeah, that was a very good SQ fight. Just like they train you at the academy. Which again is not Harvard Law School.
There are rules, you gotta do it by the book.
So coming up we have another twin robo fight for Manny. Greggy making his way to SQ. For the twin robo fight, there are a few other things you can do differently from the first one. The big thing is you can carry a Shine Spark in, and that does half damage to the gold robo. And I know there is a way to keep both robos on the top platform the entire time, but for the life of me, I swear they patched that out at some point. I can't do it.
And they snuck it in with Sizzle Season 2023 Splatoon.
Yeah. It's never too late to patch a game, as we learned from Mario Kart 8.
Ooh. Manny making quick work of this final Emmy zone. Beautiful.
Doing the flash shift to the other ledge in order to flash shift right back. That is my favorite central unit fight, and I just love that there's really like no further optimizations past Shine Spark screw attack. It's just like you learn the speedrun it all and you've done it as fast as you're gonna do it. You know, plus or minus like 1 second.
Looks like Greggy will not get 2 cycle. But it's fine. We that was a very clean goals. There was a very clean SQ fight regardless of 2 cycle.
Manny going for the traditional quick kill on the purple Emmy. The wave Emmy. Sorry. Just kind of clearing up enough space so that he can kind of retreat backwards as the wave Emmy approaches him and get a pretty quick kill. It's only like a second or two slower than the true plant, I believe.
Yeah. It's deceiving. You think it's a lot slower because of all the movement you have to do, but it's not really because you're spending that time in true plant waiting for the Emmy to come out of that one tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Greggy getting knocked off the pedestal, but not letting that stop him. About to get into a close quarters fight here. But unfortunately on a non-favorable side. Yeah, it's very nice.
So Manny just strolling right into the end game. We're kind of in the boss rush section where it's just, you know, SQ, wave, Chozo, Chozo, Chozo. Sorry, SQ, twin robo, wave, Chozo, Chozo, Chozo. One of those Chozos even has a name. I like the shots that Greggy does there, where you position it so that the second charge beam you shoot, one of the shots will hit and break the plasma beam or the blob, but then the second one will progress past the new place. Yeah,
because it just gives the feel that you're busting walls down. So nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm coming to get you, Ravenbeak.
Yeah. Manny doing a pretty model red Chozo fight using storm missiles to skip the shield counter. And Greggy actually going for my favorite version of the purple Emmy kill, just because it's so funny how early, by distance, you can break the faceplate. Deep blue. It is technically a little bit slower, but it does make the true plant kill extremely, extremely lenient.
Such a shame we don't see it more often because it's so funny.
Yeah. It also breaks the graphics a little bit, which is always fun.
Manny taking out Speedy at approximately 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 51 seconds.
Alright, now let's see how the Power Bomb RNG goes for him. Will he get a refill? Yes,
There
he
we
does.
go.
Okay.
Very nice.
It's always one of the kind of annoying things that happen right at the end of the run is you can save or lose a pretty a nice chunk of pocket change, depending on how the power bomb drops go in this last section.
Very nice penthouse keep from Manny.
Yeah. I also want to call out the speed keep that Mr. Reggie just did in the wave enemy room to escape. Did the speed boost into the morph ball tunnel to wall jump around and be able to keep the speed into the second room to the left of wave enemy room.
That one is very nice. It always feels so slow when I don't get it. Probably because it is.
Yeah. So it's not quite as bad with flash shift, but
No,
Black
Manny
and
making quick work of Sparky at 1:15:48.
alright, so Manny is going into Eterash. The only thing left for him pretty much is Ravenbeak fight and escape. We've got Greggy going into the Power Bomb Emmy. What do you call him? Sparky? Speedy?
Yeah, I call the red one Speedy and the gold one Sparky. They're both Venture Brothers references.
Very nice. Similar storm missile strat from Greggy coming out. Pretty good red Chozo fight.
Clocking in here for Speedy at 1:16:41. And Manny making his way to Ravenbeak. Let's see how his 9+1 goes.
Yeah, so the unfortunate thing is that if you got perfect RNG, 9+1 would not really lose that much time. However, it's kind of just up to the gods when he decides to do the counter that you do as like a halfway step to make it so that gold skip is free. Right now,
Manny
Ravenbeak's
getting
kind of going through his entire
kind of
arsenal.
hosed by RNG.
Yeah, so that was like 6th attack or something. Like that was pretty pretty slow. However, that does mean that on this section he doesn't really need to mash particularly hard. Like I think 6 hertz would clear it.
Phase 1, 37 seconds. Phase 2.
For phase 2, pretty much any of the fights that don't, or any of the attacks that don't require like an active dodging are good because it means that you can just hold your position and just pelt the whole missiles. And he's getting a lot of the like machine gun aiming attacks, which is really nice because those are just like the absolute best for DPS. Now he's on to phase 3. Okay. No counter sequence, so his RNG was pretty mid. It was like not. It was kind of bad for the first phase, very good for the second phase, and pretty mid for the third phase. So altogether, like an average Ravenbeak. as far as RNG goes. As far as the just like performance of like getting all your missiles to land, not missing any shots, like that was actually a very, very solid rating.
Greggy clearing Sparky at 118.48.
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, I believe Manny is very close to PB pace if he gets a good escape, because I saw again just like a couple seconds of red. So we will see
All
how
total,
the escape goes.
All total, that Ravenbeak was about 1:20.
Not
Looks
bad at
like.
all. For 9+1, that's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. All right, Greggy making his way to Ravenbeak. It's fine, Greggy, if it's a bad run. We all have them.
So for Manny, we're going to be looking at basically the same sort of movement that was
save
in the
from
beginning of the
Greggy.
run. Nice, nice. Just kind of making sure that his quick rises are on point, making sure that he is sliding off the ledges, going to do the Shine Spark up here. It is technically a little bit slower than the crossbomb, but it is also very easy to mess up the crossbomb version of that ascent. Do not blame him at all. Beautiful dash melee off of the very lip of the ledge. Alright. And how is phase 1? Oh, Greggy also a 9+1 enjoyer. Very nice.
I was literally going to say 9+1 enjoyer. Oh. All right, here we go.
Okay, so
Manny
the
coming
L-Spark
up on
at
total
201
spark.
for Manny. Pretty good. Yeah, here we go. Moment of truth. Well, now he's red. Never mind. Still, a very solid run to be this close to PB pace in a tournament setting. Manny has absolutely nothing to be sad about. This was a very good showing. A 120 is always something that's nice to see.
GG's. That would be a very slight 120.57 for Manny. And Greggy coming through on the 9+1 and into phase 2.
So it kind of looked like Greggy, I was mostly looking at Manny's escape, but it kind of looked like Greggy was also having some not amazing luck with the 9+1 counter opportunity coming soon.
Yeah.
His phase 2 RNG also a little bit, kind of middling, not getting very many of the dash melee opportunities. But the accuracy on the missiles is pretty nice. I've only seen like 3 or 4 missed so far, so that's not bad. Oh, and a counter off the front on the last phase.
Nice.
We'd love to see that.
Right off the bat. You love to see it.
Love, love, love.
All right. Let's see how the rest of this goes.
I just realized that we're not going to be able to see what Greg's final time is.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure what his PB is, so if that is a relevant consideration, then I guess we'll figure that out when we figure it out. Someone will time that in post. But regardless, I would say a pretty solid run from both players going into Mr. Greggy's escape. Something like a 125.
If the delta was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and they both had comparable Ravenbeaks, then I would say probably a mid 123. It would probably need to be retimed.
Yeah, would obviously need to be retimed, but still, a pretty solid run. Better than my PB.
We'll get both the runners in here as soon as Greggy's escape is finished.
Definitely. Sure. Gotta imagine Manny's feeling good, but I am excited to ask him about all the things that went wrong, make him feel bad.
Fantastic. It's time. All right.
That little dash melee off the lip there at the like midpoint of escape is like, I don't know what it is, just like feels so telling about like the overall sort of vibe of the escape, you know?
Yeah. Up and
Messed up the Dark Spark.
Greggy going for a mini arc spark, but not getting it.
Yeah, so it looks like he is going to be doing the up spark at 153, so that's about 8 seconds slower than Manny's. So you figure that as far as like the pace, if we're trying to calculate that in real time. But ooh, okay, almost got the. Oh wait, no, he's gonna go for it. Any run you can finish. Good job to both players, putting on a good show. Solid runs on both parts. And again, we will be speaking to both Manny and Greg very shortly.
All right. Yeah, let's pull Manny in here.
Hello,
How's it
guys.
going?
I feel pretty good. I mean, I don't know how else to start off, but that was one of the best AB runs I've ever done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of that
we
was
were,
really solid.
Yeah, I definitely was noticing because your the color of your timer is on screen. Just like how pretty much the entire run you were only a few seconds behind your PB. So it seemed like that was like a really, really good performance for you.
Oh yeah, I think the most furthest I've been from my PB was 21 seconds in like mid game for go against Gozuna actually, but then I just started saving time and I was only behind PB by 13 seconds. So that was a really great run.
Can I just say, by the way, how much I love how clutch you both were on Golzuna? Like, both of you seemed so close to not getting the force spark, but you just, like, ice in your veins. You pulled it through. You showed that bug who's boss. Love to see it.
I keep saying this, but a lot of my problems with Crazy 8 is Goliath, not Gozuna, and that was what you saw was a perfect example of how things almost went wrong. Like I had ice in my veins, but secretly I was really terrified. I just kind of just let autopilot play my role and back up.
Well, let me tell you what, we love to see Golzuna get bullied. I'll tell you what.
Oh hell yeah! I think we all can agree here. Also, GG Greggy.
Yeah, thank you. That was I would say I don't even want to say it, but it was garbage. Absolute garbage this run. But we rolled through. We finished.
Yeah.
Like I really
It
wish I
happens
would
every.
give it.
If
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I was just saying I wish I give Manny a better race, but yeah, what can we do?
Hey man, I was like watching on the side. You've made some really good plays. You made some you've done like specific tricks that I don't even still do. I'm trying to think. You did the post to wave speed keep, if I remember correctly, which I
Yeah,
have not really practiced at all. So good job with that.
yeah, but I missed the the grapple, so yeah, I couldn't use it, but yeah.
I would
well,
also
if
like to
anyone
point
says
out.
they have a perfect run every time, they're white.
Yeah.
I would
This kind of
also like
stuff
to point
happens,
out that for the middle hour or so of the run, like the beginning was kind of a difference maker, and the end was, whatever it was. But for the middle hour or so, you guys basically did not shift in terms of like gaining time or losing time in comparison to each other. So even though there was a bit of a gap the entire time, you guys are actually playing at very similar paces for pretty much the whole run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about 1 minute behind Manny for about 40 minutes, Greggy.
Yeah,
That's kind of good.
indeed. I want to like point out that my decision to go for Darkroom Pseudo was a spur of the moment, and I immediately regretted that. That was 5-second time loss that should not have happened at all, frankly.
What was your final delta compared to your PB?
Uh, like I was only behind by 13 seconds. like PB pace. My PB is like a 120.44.
Okay, so imagine if you had gotten those Darkroom pseudos and then gotten Backdoor Flash Shift. Could have PB'd.
Nah. Yeah, I could have also not messed up Goliath. I could have, not had a cleaner Frozen Altaria. Even though it was pretty heavy Frozen Altaria, I definitely could have. I missed like I think the last end speed keep, which I could have done better at. But like it's just little like time loss. None of my mistakes were like egregious to the point that I'd be really frustrated. Just more like time just creeps up. It just happens.
That's fair. I would also like to say good job to both of you on getting really, really good Atom skips. I believe it was first and third try, respectively. That was really cool. And that was like a
That
really
was very
good,
nice. It was so
Dude.
good.
I don't know. I just got first try. I was like, oh, I got first try, and I just kept on going. I was a little bit surprised. I thought I'd be here for like 5 to 10 seconds longer, but we take it, I guess.
Yo, talking about the early game, like, did you guys notice like every trick I had to do it 3 times until I get it?
Yeah,
It
we
was
were
so
yeah.
calling that
frustrating.
I didn't see all of it, but I did see your comment in chat. I was like, you know what, 3 is actually pretty good if it's consistent, right? Especially for a tournament setting. Like, I'd be happy. My Magus was certainly not third try, as you all saw. But
Yeah,
Still
now there
made
was
it
your
through.
early cloak, but then Greggy like perfectly
yeah.
tied at the early cloak pseudo because it
saw-
was third shot.
Yeah, I saw that. Mine was like 5th, 6th shot or something. Like I figured that's why Greggy caught up, just because better early cloak is just chunks of time save.
And what about Corpius fake headlock I got? That was so funny, man. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I got a headlock. Let's go. Then I'm start
Oh!
mashing. It worked for like 5 seconds, and then like, what?
God, man, I was.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
That was so
think
funny, man.
Yeah, I was 2 missiles short from face skipping without headlock. I was a little bit peeved, but that's why I take 32 missiles and not 30.
Oh, you grabbed the second, the 2
Yeah, I
missile.
always
Yeah, I
get
did
that
too.
just in the case that those 2 missiles can make or break a face skip. It doesn't happen as much as often as we'd like, but it's just there for safety reasons.
Yeah, true.
All right, and so we'll take a little preview of the losers bracket here. Unfortunately, Mr. Greggyspike will be eliminated following
No.
this match. And fortunately or unfortunately for Manny, he'll be going on to face Delusional Prince.
Oh
next round.
God. I've
Oh,
seen
boy.
Delusional Prince. I said this before. I've seen Delusional Prince's progress over this year, and I saw his new 117 PB like one night ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous.
Hey, you are the 8th seed. Are you gonna let him knock you out of top 8? Come on.
Well, I'm gonna get my but I am delusional to think that it's not going to be a cakewalk.
But are you as delusional as the prince?
Well, maybe not, for better or for worse. But what if we're not crazy, are we speedrunners?
I mean, hey, I think that losers round 3 is going to be really exciting. We got the 9-10 seed matchup with Jay and Grub. We got the 7-8 matchup with Prince and Manny. A lot of good stuff going on to a Twitch stream near you.
5-11 Sabo or Chaff versus Ed Nolim is going to be great. That is the one to look forward to.
Yeah, there's a lot of good matches. I think a lot of the matches are tomorrow, if I'm correct. So it's gonna be a packed Saturday.
Yep. Sat versus Justin Zane, Chaff versus Ed Nolim, Fortify versus Root.
Damn.
All of these happening this weekend.
Spicy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So are there any final thoughts that anybody would like to share? Any shout outs or just things you remembered about the run that were cool you'd like to remark upon?
I'm just going to say GG to Manny for the win. Once again, he beats me in the tournament. But
yeah, like I want to say, like I mentioned it to a couple of other friends, but I remember you were my first opponent in any percent NMG bracket last year. I still remember that. Like, and that was the first time I heard of you, and so I'm glad I got to have known you this whole year, and you did a great job coming this far. So GG, Greggy.
yeah,
Be
thank
proud
you.
of that.
Thank you, and also thank you for everybody that joined the tournament. It's really fun. I'm happy to see more players playing Dread. It's such a cool game, good movement and all. And yeah, just want to say thanks to everybody and thanks for the comments. It was kind of fun. And yeah, for the rest of the year, I'll be probably playing some more Dread. And hopefully Nintendo releases the Metroid Prime Remastered Echoes, please. Nintendo, please.
Oh, I still have that
No.
copium. It will come when it comes, but I'll look forward to that as well.
Wait for the
Yeah,
March.
Iron
direct.
Galaxy's working on it. Tell you what, probably Dave Lang is gonna come through for us. I can feel it.
Amen to that. But yeah, I'm sharing Greggy's sentiments. Thanks to you, Greggy, for being a great opponent. Thanks for everyone. And one last thing, I will be a golfer next time. Just you wait.
Ooh.
Actually, that is the one thing I'm very ashamed of. That was unforgivable. I don't know why I forgot about that, but I will fix that next time.
What am I paying you for?
You pay me?
Yeah, so you're a golfer, right? Professional?
Well, I have to get my license back. Then we'll talk about salary.
Okay, there we go. That works out fine for me.
All right. Do we have anything else? I don't think so. We do have one more thing. It's when we're going to see everybody. When do you think we're going to see everybody? I think next mission. I think we'll be seeing everybody at the next mission.
Facts.
See y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
See ya.